Having a British passport or indefinite leave to remain is not a passport to success. The number of people who have come to me since sharing my story of my 9-to-5 crisis and how I quit my job and how I felt attacked, discriminated, and in an unhappy place, despite my qualifications, experience, and length of time in the UK, and dare I say, my immigration status, which ultimately means that I'm British. People coming to me and saying, oh my God, you have killed my dreams. If you're struggling being British and you've been there for so long, what chances do I have? You guys should stop sharing a negative picture about the UK. People are doing well. And I just thought, you know what, I need to address this. Normally, I don't address all comments, but when you come to my inbox, I address it, okay? Let me try and make this as friendly as possible. If you're listening to this video, you are, say, late 30s or even mid 30s, you've already got a life abroad, especially in Africa. The biggest people who come to my inbox are Nigerians. We have some Ghanaians, some Kenyans, from everywhere. You are having an okay life. You have a job, you're skilled in your field, and you have decided to move to the UK because you can apply for a skilled visa, or you can go through OCS, whatever the processes are nowadays. And your dream is to come and settle here with your whole family. Let me give you this message. Please do this with no expectations for financial success in 2025. I am going to start from the beginning. Now, I honestly feel like the worst thing that has happened to us like a continent is the constant attachment to success by living overseas or having the flexibility to travel overseas. I'll talk about the flexibility because for me and a lot of us watching this video, we came abroad with a different plan in mind. I'm not going to talk for you, but for myself, I came here as a 20-year-old 20 years ago, or over 20 years ago, and I had dreams to come and study and go back to my country and give back or get a job or settle. 95% of people who came here then had big dreams to go back home. This same issue of most people telling you, oh my God, you're already there, don't dare come back. Don't come back home before you have your papers. You will be frustrated if you could not go back. Just stay there first, persevere, do whatever it takes and have your papers. That is why a lot of people immigrated and never went back. The net immigration numbers went up and there are a few success stories. However, do you know the number of people whose dreams were killed because there is the extra issue of facing discrimination because of how you look, how you sound, not being able to adapt to the culture, being looked as a misfit at work, and then losing your confidence and settling for less? Because when you waste so many years, okay, you study for 2 years, maybe 3 years or 5 years, you keep doing any cost to keep you here till you can jump on the next opportunity to renew your visa. So people have even gone through the routes of being here illegal for 15 years just to have the papers. Let me ask you, once you have the papers, what is the end goal? Is the end goal to flash your passport like a trophy? Or is the end goal to achieve what your purpose in life was, or what your capabilities are? Which is it? Is it more the bragging rights to say I can travel when and if I want? Because a lot of people, once they go through that stress of having the papers, it just means years. I'm going to attribute this to slavery, and this, please don't take this in a bad way, it might trigger some people, but what slavery used to be is that you have a master, you serve them for so many years, okay, and in return you get your freedom. I can really relate directly to this within the context of this conversation. Why do I say this? It could be very misleading to feel like the immigration rules in most of these countries abroad, the UK, the US, Europe, wherever, Canada, you might think that because they love you, they want numbers. There's this thing. they have a lot more to gain from you than you have from them. I'll always talk about students. I have worked in a higher institution for several years without divulging too much information, so I know that a lot of the revenue comes from international students who pay 3-4 times the home student fees. That's just one aspect, okay? And if you just came in, studied and went back, you might feel like they've dealt with you, they've taken your fees and they've kicked you out. No. If they string you along and they say there's this new visa thing, there's the work permit. I had that when I came here 2 decades ago, and we were the first batch to have the work post-study work visas, right? It was 1 year and then 2 years. I don't know how many it is now. And we felt like God has been so good. Oh my God, we are so lucky we had this. It looked that way. But what that did is there were another set of requirements to qualify. One, you must have paid all of your fees. So people who could have just said, you know what, I cannot afford, I'm going to go back home, work and pay the fees and get my certificate. No, you have to have paid all of your fees in a year. Talking now 15,000, 20,000 pounds, because you're thinking, I have a bigger picture. I'll have this 1 year work permit. 90, or let me not be so harsh, 85% of people I know who came through that route and who hope to get professional jobs within the field did not get them. So they hung around and settled for other jobs, and they thought, let me just work hard and go back. That's 2 extra years. That's altogether 5 years. And then while you're working in a non-skilled job, working in the shops, you're doing care, whatever, right? Because you're thinking, I've paid all these fees, I have a visa now to work, but I cannot find a job in my field. Back then, there was no restriction, so you can work anywhere. So what comes first, you take it, right? And you're so grateful that you have this opportunity because you want to pay back all the loans you've borrowed to come here. You do another 2 years. Altogether, we're talking now 3, 4, 5 years. And within that period, people were saying, don't dare come back home. It's hard to get a job. Just stay there. And you're thinking, hi, I've been here for 5 years. I'm only paying off debts. And the system starts pulling you in. Stick with me. And that's what they'll say, if you meet somebody and you guys get into some sort of agreement, you can have a partner visa, but you have had to stay here for another 2 years with them. So you apply, that's 7 years. And then you get a 2 years way to stay here, 2 years leeway or a 2 years leave to remain under a partner. You're so happy. You have paid that person sometimes, okay? Even if you've not, you have the opportunity and it's golden. You still have not got a professional job. You're still doing the non-skilled jobs. But guess what? Every time you need to renew this visa, you have to pay thousands. If you have dependents, they have to pay. The government is sucking it in. And you think that they care about you? They care. It's about money. It's about their numbers. How does it look for them? That's not all. Now this is 7-8 years, and then they give you the indefinite leave to remain. You're like, hurrah! 8 years later. This is now 20 years ago what used to happen. What happens now is completely different. I'm sure you have to wait 5-10 years. And then you can apply for indefinite leave to remain. You do that 10 years later. To apply for indefinite leave to remain back then used to be like £1,000. I don't remember, whatever. Just look at the numbers. And then at that point you're thinking, okay, now I can relax because I've got my indefinite leave to remain. I can start looking for work. That is when the penny drops, because you realize that even when you have indefinite leave to remain, you face the same challenges like white Brits moving down the streets, job centers, applying for the same role. It's not a passport. It's not a pass for an easy life or money. It doesn't grow on trees. You have to now start thinking about your experience, which you've not amassed in any way. Because why? When people were going to work, your English counterparts at university were not bothered to do non-skilled jobs because they can go back to their homes. They had a very nice soft landing from birth. You, on the other hand, guess what you have to do? You have to start looking now for work experience. Who would you employ if you are an employer? The white Brit who has managed to maybe get a volunteer job, not having to pay heavy fees, not having to pay rents, to pay visa applications, they'll give them because they have been in the work environment. Have they adapted better? Perhaps. Do they have better grades than you? Maybe not. Are they more ambitious than you? Maybe not. But who has the shot then? And then you start saying, I have wasted this money. You've been here 10 years. You've not had a professional job. Your counterparts who took the bold step to move back home and did not really listen to people saying, have your papers first. What happens? They are working in the professional job. They not earn half of what you're earning. But what do they have? They have peace of mind. They have the dignity. And then a few months later, they start coming here. They come to visit. Their kids come to visit. You start comparing. It's not good to compare, but I'm giving you the reality. What I want to say is, if you come here as a youngster, I'm not justifying my staying here, and this topic brings a lot of negative emotions from people. People who have just moved to the UK, adults who have taken the OCS route or other skilled or non-skilled routes to come to the UK and paid thousands. They find this topic very, very sore. And I'm sorry to be the messenger, but we need to talk about it. Information is power. Make an informed decision, okay? If I still saw a young person in the early 20s coming here, I'll say by all means come and explore. But if I saw a family of 5, somebody who has a good job back home, maybe has investment properties, has a decent life, and they fall in this falseness, in this fallacy to think that when they come here, everything will turn to gold. They'll have this big IT job. They'll have this big professional engineering job. Think again. Look at the stats. Look at the numbers. I have always been in professional roles. I have always been in the corporate world, but it's not a secret. I've had work issues and I'm currently in the job market. I can tell you guys that one job comes out and in 3 hours there are 130 applications. In 3 days there's 600. I have spoken to a lot of recruiters. Don't be fooled. People are leaving the UK. Brits are leaving to go to other countries. Business people. Don't think that coming to the UK in 2025 as an adult to start afresh, you would get the British passport if you need to. Yes, you can persevere 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. If you're coming as an adult in your 30s, this is you working till at least 60. What happens after that? A lot of us who came here very young are thinking to go back because we've stayed our time, we've done the time, we've served. It feels like your master has released you. When you're British, you can choose to go back and start afresh. But if you're coming in your 30s and 40s, how long do you want to be with chains? How long do you want to serve your master, the immigration people, to pay back and go? They are taking your freedom for the length of time in exchange for a stay, which is not even guaranteed. Because to get indefinite leave, I think it's about 10 or 5 years, I don't really know. To get a British passport now with the new rules is about 15 years. Do you want to carry on in the cold, being unhappy, running noses on the bus stops with jackets, with kids, doing the jobs that will make you feel very, very big, this big? If you're about to travel, think about it. Think properly. Make a decision that you will not regret. Don't go selling your property, leaving your jobs and coming here, because honestly, it is a very bleak situation. I keep saying this, if you want to kill the messenger, by all means. But I can tell you that this is not the be-all and the end-all. Let traveling not be your time killer. What the most valuable thing we have in life is time. In a year, you can change your life, and I'm going to share my story. I have shared a lot, but there's a whole new part of me that you guys don't know in the past. Maybe a few months I've not been really posting, but things can change for the better quickly if you keep your eyes on the prize and stop following the crowd. Don't think that anything is limiting you. Don't think that as you come here, you're dealing with the Brits. You have dealt with them. You have your papers in a year or two. It's not a passport to success. It is the start of a long struggle. And you find yourself retired here. Your kids will not want to go back. They'll be in school. You'll be in your 40s. They'll be integrating in the system. You'll grow old here and you'll not know what to do because you'll be searching for your British passport as a pensioner. Please stop this. Stop the the wrong narrative and telling people abroad to sell things and come here for your own selfish purposes. Because whether we like it or not, there is modern day slavery. And I'll leave it at that. If you know what slavery is, if you don't know, Google it. If you're too young to know what slavery is, it's serving a master and they're taking your time. After you've done your time, they give you the freedom. Would you be alive? Would you be strong? Would you be young? Would you have time to enjoy the freedom? Ask yourself these questions. I hope I'm going to leave this video like this. And if this is the first time you've seen one of my videos, my name is Lulu. This is Lulu Diaries, and I share my thoughts, my experience living in the UK. I talk about topics that most people are so scared to tread on. And most importantly, I want to give back to my fellow immigrants so that they know the pros and the cons of any decisions that they make. Thanks once more. And if you found this video helpful, give me a like. Consider subscribing, share your thoughts, what you want to talk about next. And oh God, I'll see you guys in my next video. It's been a while, there's a lot of updates, and I'll share soon. Thanks for all your support, and feel free to email if you have any questions, and I'll be hopefully there to help. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe.